Okay, gonna give a little demo of this Dart scoreboard I've been working on um, for the past, I don't know, year and a half. Started out as a little COVID project, and it still keeps me busy from time to time. I'm still working on it. You're gonna see a couple things in here that um, I have to fix. Some of the menus are not consistent because I'm just changing them, and I just noticed that it's not completely done, so I have to go back and clean some things up. Um, So I'll go through the games. Some of the games have some settings that I'll try to explain, and then I'll explain how the game is played relatively quickly. Um, Hare and Hound. One person's the hare, the other person's the hound, and you chase each other around the board by hitting the target segments. You go counterclockwise. Typically, the hound starts at 20 and the hare starts at 5, one space away. And you, like I said, you go counterclockwise. For this, you can add, you can start uh, a head start for the rabbit, for the hare, and then this is how many laps around. If the hare starts at 5, gets all the way to 20, that's a win, but you can go 2 laps, so he's got to go all the way around the board twice. We'll just do 1 lap, but I'm not going to finish anyway. Um, we'll put in okay. So you see the hare has a head start, and if you get that segment, you move ahead, and now it's the hound's turn. So the hound is chasing. We'll give the hare one more dart. And now the way the hound wins is to be on the same segment as the hare and to get it. So in this example, the hare would have won. You can restart within a game if you want to play it again and just keep going. Um, this is a game I'm going to say I invented, but I don't know if I can say that. It's based off of I think it's Milton Bradley or Parker Brothers. I don't know, the board game. Um, so you start off by placing your ships around the board. Uh, 3 single ships represent the 3 small ships in the game, a double ship and a triple ship for the big ones. Um, so you place them by just touching the board. It won't allow you to put more than what you're supposed to put on there. So if I try to click this, I'm gonna add another aircraft carrier. So we'll just do this for the sake of ease. Um, and now Michaela has to place her ships. We'll just put them at the bottom. And then you just start shooting, right? Now this could be a long game because of all the triples and stuff. But if you get a hit, it not only shows you on the board, but it marks it off over here. So we'll just give her all 3. And as you can see, the board remembers where you shot in your previous turn. And then if I do this, Michaela has won the game. Game over. Um, so that's pretty fun. Scram is a pretty fun game. Um, just type, makes it easier. One person starts as a stopper, one person's the scorer. The stopper's job is to close every segment on the board, and the scorer's job is to get as many points as they can. Standard scoring applies. So, and as you go around, you close. Nothing happens to the scorer. If you hit a close segment, you just don't get the points. So then what happens is once the stopper closes all of the segments, including bullseye, it flips, and then um, it would then be Hunter's turn to outscore the score, and then the person with the high score at the end wins. Pretty fun game. Tic Tac Toe, pretty simple as you can see. I got some housekeeping things to do. I'm going with this look. This was the look, so I did not update this text here. Um, so doubles and triples off, yes, which means here's your target: single 12, bullseye, single 2. Um, if doubles and triples are off, it should really say triples off because it's triple 12, bullseye, and triple 2. Um, and then it's just standard tic-tac-toe. You can have random numbers, so it could be, um, if you go back in here and you pick random numbers, you could have single 1, triple 1, double 1 right across the top. It's completely random. We'll turn that off to no. Uh, there's a virtual coin toss at the beginning to pick who goes first. Hunter has won, so as you can see, if I hit this, I claim that square. Right? And now Carolyn comes in, it's this, it's this, it's this. She won the game. Simple as that. Pretty simple game. You can then restart, start over, clears the board. Got to fix that. I think I got that already written down that I got to fix that, but that's that game. Warfare is north versus south. The dartboard is split in two, and the person in the south is aiming for all the segments in the top, and the north person is aiming for the segments in the bottom. Friendly fire off means if you hit your own segment, you don't lose a life. And there's 3 lives per segment. You can take that down to 1 for a quicker game. But if we just go next, you can see the board is divided north and south. Caroline's going, so if she hits its normal scoring triples count, so 6, just took all those lives. I'll just hit a single 10, and as you can see there, and then I'll hit a double 10, boom. And the first person to kill all the enemy soldiers wins. Pretty simple. 9 darts to 100. As the name suggests, you get 9 darts over 3 rounds, so you throw 3 darts each round. The player, after 3 rounds that's closest to 100, wins the game. If at any point you go over 100, you are reset back to 0. So in this case, I'll set Caroline. It's this. She goes back to 0, but she continues to be able to throw darts. All right, so then round 2 comes up, and now she has to be very careful because 70 is awfully close, and if she busts here, she goes back to 0, but then she can still, you can still get a pretty good score. So I ended up winning the game. So that's that game. 01 game's pretty simple. I do have a feature in here that's unique, so I'll get in, and I'll get her in, and if you're like under 170, because I don't think there's a combination above 170, but you can click this to see, okay, I need a triple 20. This is the combination that gets me out, right? It shows you your outs, and even if you hit this, close out, okay, triple 20, double 12. So for each number, if there's a combination, if I hit this, it should say no combinations. So that just helps. It helps some players out, and then it's standard, right? You have to double out if that's what you pick. Around the board, you can either go clockwise or counterclockwise. You start at 20. clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever it is. So, and that's interesting. Hmm. It seems as though my dartboard is disabled for around the clock, or around the board. Board. Disabled dartboard. Hmm. That's interesting. But that's you would just go counterclockwise or clockwise, whichever way you were going. Around the clock is almost exactly the same thing, but it's in order. You start at 1. Oh, neither one of these work. I was doing some things with this, but you would go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 until you hit bullseye. Um, so Asshole's an interesting game. Um, so double pulls only. So the object of this game is to get to reach a score, right? Whatever score you pick here is your target score. So we'll say it's 700. Um, be an asshole how many times? You can have up to 5 times. And what that means is standard scoring applies. So at any point, if a player hits bullseye, that player not only gets the points for the bullseye, but everybody else's score is cut in half. So a player could be out to a big lead, and another player could hit the bullseye to knock them back down. Be an asshole how many times is 3 times. So you can hit bullseye 3 times to knock other players, to cut other players in half. After that, after 3, when you hit bullseye, your score is cut in half. Right, so if we jump in here, it's only 2 players, so it's not going to be, we'll just do this, and we'll do this. And now if I hit a bullseye, her score gets knocked in half. I got the points, but I lost one of my assholes. Right, so you just keep playing um, until somebody reaches the target. Simple as that. Baseball, this isn't my best game. It was my first baseball game I wrote. World Series is much better, but I left it in here sort of for nostalgia's sake. Um, Inning 1, you're aiming at ones, and then you just click this to score. Right? There's no clicking the dartboard. There's none of that. This was pretty simple. And then um, if Caroline misses, the inning is over. So then you just click 2 to start that inning, and it just goes on. Um, like I said, not my best, but um, still kind of fun. Bermuda Triangle is just like the game that's in the electronic boards. You start off at 12, 12, 13, 14. After 14, you have to hit a double. 15, 16, 17, I think, and then it's any triple, 19, whatever it is, and then it's singable, doubleable. If you miss, your score is cut in half. All right, so if you get here, all you gotta do is hit it once, you get the 12 points, standard scoring. All right, so now the target is 13. I will miss, and I'll go down to 6. All right, and then let's hit one, and now it's any double. Right, so double 12, I'm good. Double 20, we'll give her some points, right? And then if she misses, she's cut in half, right? So that's that game. And then after the bullseyes, whoever has the high score wins. Chase the Dragon. I want to say this starts at either 1 to 9 or something like that. But you can have single segments, double segments, or only triples if you got some players with, the are good. You can turn on triples. The issue, I don't want to say the issue, but if it's singles and you hit a double of the target, it does not count. You have to get a single. So you start at 10 and you go through double bulls, right? So 10, 11, 12, and then the first person to close out wins, right? You don't lose anything by missing. You don't. Um, there's another game called Slider that if you miss the target, um, you actually go back uh, a number, but that's not this game. So first person to close out wins. Um, Hammer Cricket. Um, so this this game has. Oh, here, let me get started. So this is the only game on here that you can go negative. So it's standard scoring, right? If you miss the target for that round, it's only 7 rounds. It goes from 20 to 15, and then I think bullseyes. If you miss the target completely with all 3 darts, you're minus triple of whatever that scoring segment is. So if I'm missing here, I'm going to be at minus 60. The hammer was dropped, you lost 60 points. All right, so now if she were to miss, she would lose 57 points. Right, so you can catch up in a hurry. One thing of note in this game, your first dart is 1 times the score, the second dart is 2 times, and the third dart is triple. So that means if you hit a triple segment on your last dart, it's really 6 times whatever this is. All right, so one dart, um, one triple dart on triple 20 could get you 180 points with one dart. So the score can jump up really quick based on when you throw it. So your third dart's really your most important. So that's that game. Cricket, everybody knows. All right, score. I got 20. All right, triple 19. Simple. It's cricket. I don't think I have to explain that. Well, I will, because some people don't know cricket. You have to get 3 of each segment. If you are closed out of a number and you continue to get that number, so I'll give myself a triple 20, which closes this out and gives me 20, or it gives me 18. So my score will be 38 after that, right? And if I hit another 18 here, a triple or whatever, I get those points. The player with the most points at the end wins. Cover up cricket. I think I made this one up. Every number on the dartboard is in play, and there are no real points. The points come with whoever closes out the most numbers. So if I come in here, I closed out 12, and I get 2 18s. I have 2 18s and a 12. And then Caroline goes and closes 18s, 6 and 10. She now has a score of 3 because she has 3 closed out, and I can no longer close out 18s. 18s are off the table because they are closed out. And then the person with the most points at the end wins. Cutthroat cricket is just like cricket, only you give the points. So I'll close out 20s, and if I score 20, Caroline gets it. I'll give her another 20. Player with the lowest score at the end of Cutthroat wins the game. Okay, just like cricket. Mulligan Cricket is there's no points, but the players pick the targets. So you come in here and you close You pick these targets, 6 of them, and then bullseye's added automatically, and you hit yes. You have to close out. Um, I should add targets to that for each player. Player targets. Okay. You have to close out in order. So, well, let me close out 12. So there, I close my 12s out. And now if I hit a triple 15, even though it's in my list, I don't get it because 4 is next. You have to close out in order. So if I hit that, I obviously get that, right? So she gets 12, 15, right? And then it just goes down to bullseye. Whoever um, closes them out first wins. Um, One thing of note, um, all of these games, these are 2-player games, but all of these games are up to 8 players. So that's a little bit different for like the 01 games and things like that, right? Usually it's played with 2 or 4 people at a maximum, but with this you can play up to 8 at a time. Wildcard cricket. This is cricket. Let me add a couple players just so you can. Aha. Let me get out. And let me uncheck this guy. And now it's going to make me. Um, so the names are shuffled when you start the game automatically. So no matter which way you type them in, it's gonna get shuffled. Now it might shuffle into the exact same order, or it might not. Again, it's completely random. So um, in wildcard cricket, what happens are these numbers are all your targets are all um, random, and after each round, after each player throws, each number segment that does not have um, one mark, right? So if nobody gets a 7 at the end of the round, this number gets shuffled, right? So let me see. So I'll mark a 13. Actually, I'll mark 3 13s for everybody. Excuse me. And then what you're going to see after Alicia throws are these numbers are going to flash and they're going to be different. There won't be another 13. That 13 is off the board, so to speak, but all these other numbers will change. So I didn't see what it was before compared to what it is now. I don't remember, but it does look a little different. So let me do 13s again. So it's 11, 12, 19. Oh, look at this. That's weird. Found something. I don't know why that's. So what if I hit an 11? Oh boy, that's weird. I don't remember what player. What happens if I click here for full scoreboard? Oh, that doesn't work, son of a bitch. Okay. Well, as you can see, it's not completely working, but it's good enough. I had to figure that one out. That's really weird. Because I went through um, all these games to validate that each game picked a winner at the end. Some of them didn't. Some of them just kept going um, after the end. So I put, I disabled things and prevented the dartboard from working. So I may have missed that one. Um, Checkout. Checkout is a unique game. Um, Here are your target numbers, um, and your darts add up to those numbers, and then you close it out. So, for instance, if I hit double 13 right now, it's going to close out that 26. Now, before the game starts, if you don't like these numbers for whatever reason, you can come in and reset the targets. So these are a little bit easier because a lot of these are one dart, right? And again, these are completely randomized. Um, so if I hit 18, see it closes it out. 9 and 5 closed out, right? Now you can do it with two darts. So if I hit 20 and 11, it keeps your score here. So if I hit 11, 31's closed out. Right, so sometimes you gotta be careful because you'll say, um, you'll think you'll hit 20 and then you'll hit a 5 and you go, oh, why didn't my 5 close out? Why didn't my 5 close out? Well, because it's really 25, right? So, and then whoever closes them out first wins. Now, some of these numbers, you can have 100 numbers, right? But that just makes it more difficult. So I have a range. I don't know what my range is. I think it's under 100. Um, um, I think it's 1 to 100 is my range that I picked at randomize. Um, Cover the board. Simple as that. 4 players. You got to get one of every number. First person to do that wins the game. Nothing. You don't block anybody. You don't. Um, you're just first person to close out all the segments wins, including bullseyes. Um, Deer Hunter's a game I made up. Um, Basically, you go hunting. Oh, there's already a huge buck on the board. So each of these segments represent a different point deer. Today is November 15th, first day of hunting season. There's a 4, 6, and an 8-point buck represented by these colors. However, randomly, and I do mean randomly, a big buck will show on the board, which is double bullseye. That is a 12-point buck. You can only get one of each segment, so you can't hit. So I'll hit this. You can't hit this again to get another 4-point. That one's off the table once you hit it. And then it adds it to your trophy case. So we'll add that, 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 right? And then there's 16 rounds, 15th through the 30th. So you'll see the calendar here. There it goes. Now today's the 16th. And you just keep going until the last day of hunting season, and then whoever has the biggest trophy case wins. Pretty simple. Fun game. We've played that quite a bit. Elimination. So what happens with elimination is each round. So it's standard scoring, right? You're going to get triple points for triples, etc. But after this round, randomly a number will get eliminated, and in this case it's 6. Now, um, the difference in this game is if you hit this 6, your score gets cut in half, right? If you hit a closed segment. So what ends up happening is the first 15 numbers or so, it doesn't really matter what your score is. It's the last numbers because you're going to have, you could have a wedge right here and a wedge right here that's open and everything else is closed. So the chances of you hitting a closed number um, is pretty high. This game usually ends up with scores of 20 and under winning, right? It's usually like 18 to 4 or something like that. So, but it's a fun game. We enjoy playing that. Fives. So your 3 darts add up, and you divide it by 5. If it's divisible, you get whatever that um, divisible by is, right? So if you score 15 with all 3 darts, you're going to get 3 points. So your slider here, you know, with a slider of 11, you could win in the first round. So we usually bump it up around 31. And then what happens? So I'll hit all 20s, right? So if you hit all 20s with your first dart and the score was 11, you would have won, right? So if it's not divisible, oh boy, that's weird. Hmm, interesting. Again, um, it's not like this is. Let me go back in here. Oh, okay. I know what's wrong. I do the handoff to the other player when you get a score, but when you don't, it's not handing off. So that's easy. That's I probably have something commented out stupidly, but that's that game. Golf is another one I sort of made up. Um, so each hole, you play 18 holes. Hole one, the target is one. Um, if you get a single one, you're minus a stroke. Triple, you hit a triple one, it's -3, right? Double is -2. Anything else you hit, even if it's a double or triple, it's an add 1 stroke. So if I take my shots here and if I do this and then miss twice, my score is going to be -1 for this hole, right? -1 because I hit -3 for the triple, and then 2 darts out here I missed, so I'm -1. If Jacob hits all 3, he's going to be at -9, right? So then you just play all 18 holes, and whoever has the lowest score at the end wins. Pretty simple. I gotta mark my darts, and then I'll go back to the clubhouse, and that's that. Um, half it has targets. You don't hit the target, your score's cut in half, right? With all 3 darts. So really, you gotta go through this a little bit, and regular scoring counts. And now if I don't get a 19, score's cut in half. You have all 3 darts to make it too. So you can go 1, 2, miss, and then get it, and you get the points. Um, it goes from, it's 7 rounds, so 20 down to bullseye, I believe. High score. You go by rounds. You can go 20 rounds, 10 rounds, 5 rounds, and whoever has the highest score at the end wins. Then it goes to round 2, and you just keep going. 5 rounds. Whoever has the highest score wins. Horse comes up with targets, random targets. If you don't get it with any of your 3 darts, you get a letter. So as soon as you hit it once, you're done. Right? You just walk away. And now it's 7. Right? And then whoever gets, whoever spells out horse loses. It gets eliminated, right? And then so if Alicia were to get horse, then these 3 players continue until it's down to 1 person. Um, after 20 rounds, I think it is, it's then the targets are then doubles and triples. No, in here right now, any segment works, right? But after 20 rounds, it flips over to doubles and triples only to sort of speed it up, because we we played this one time and we were all on fire that night, and it just kept going and going and going and going, and nobody was missing. So that's that game. Killer is so everybody has a target, and what you want to do is you want to become the assassin. You want to become an assassin. You become an assassin by hitting the double segment of your target. Once you only have to hit it once to become the assassin. Once you're a killer, you then have to hit the double segments of the other players. Right? So if I hit double 18, Michaela is now an assassin, and she can take the lives of the other players by hitting the doubles of their segments, right? So now it's Caroline's turn. If she doesn't hit the double of her number, it doesn't matter, right? So then what happens is we'll have her take out Jacob. Jacob is now out of the game, and now it will skip right to Alicia. And now he's out, and it comes down to, then Alicia can get in and start targeting Michaela, right? So then it just goes until somebody wins. What was that? It was killer. Knockout. You have 3 lives. You start with 3 lives. The first player sets the score, right? So everybody else has to beat this score. If you don't beat the score, you lose a life, right? So Alicia won't beat the score, so she lost a life. If Michaela beats the score, then that becomes the score to beat, and she becomes the king for now, right? And then what happens is it comes back around, and if it's her turn and she's the king, if her score beats this score, it then updates. But if she doesn't, that then becomes the new high score. And then you just play until there's one person left. Simple as that. 9 lives. Each round has a target. Oh, I think this goes 1 through 9. I think. It might go 1 through 20. Let's see what this says. Well, gotta fix that. I thought I fixed that already, but I didn't. I think it just, if you miss, you lose a life, right? And you just have to hit. Yeah, you keep going. And it goes up to some number. I think it goes to 20. I don't think it includes bullseyes. It might include bullseyes. But if you miss, you lose a dart. Once you lose all your, or you lose a life. Once you lose all your lives, you're out. And then the last player in wins. Pick 3. So this game, high score picks target. If that's yes or no, I'll sort of explain this once I'm in the game. So randomly, starting, the first player gets to pick the target. So we'll say 20, 13, and 10. That means you only score points if you hit these targets, right? So you start off with 20, and then if, triples are triples and whatnot, right? So then Caroline comes in, and then we'll have Alicia score 120, and we'll have Jacob score 30. Now what happens, because we said high player picks the next targets after this round, Alicia gets to come up and pick new targets. So if she has somewhat of a hefty lead, she can pick 1, 2, and 3, right? Now it's going to be pretty hard for anybody really to catch her. So that's why I think the option should be the person with the lowest score gets to pick the targets, because Caroline, if she's going to pick, she's going to pick 20, 19, and 18 so she can try to get back in it, right? Um, but again, that's just an option. I'm just kind of throwing darts here, not really. I mean, I guess it's how the game goes, right? And then she can score points on her own. Once she picks it, she gets to go. So that's that game. Then after 10 rounds, whoever has the highest score wins. Pick your score is one I made up. Um, each player, we'll do 3 players. Um, so at the beginning of the game, when you type in your name, um, you also pick there's 10 rounds. You pick what you think your final score will be, and then the person closest to the score they picked wins. Now there's 2 options. If you hit over your target, you are out. Or if it's no, you're set back to 0. Now, there is some strategy, but there could also be some cheating. You could pick 20 and then you don't care until the end, right? You keep going over 20, 20, 20, and then at the end you do that. Um, I think I have a minimum score of 100 for you to put in. So let's see. So if I try to put in 90, it won't take it. So if I put in, so it took 100. So I think it's 100 and above. And it could be, I mean, it could be anything, any number you want in there. Um, right? And then it's standard scoring, right? So Jacob goes over, he's set back to 0, but if you hit it to where if you go over, you're out. Um, I also think I need to add some logic that if you miss the board, um, it should add something to your score, 20 points or something like that, 40 points, because then you could get close to your score, you could get up to 90, and then just throw it off the board. So I don't know. We haven't played this game yet to really think about the logic in it, but you know, it's one of those games that I just added because I wanted to square this off. Pyramid. Um, each round a player gets a target dart, and if you hit the target, you get a brick. If you hit a triple of the target, you get 3 bricks. You're trying to build your pyramid. Um, there's 15 bricks in total. Um, However, the other people, if they hit your target, take away bricks. Right? So there's a little strategy involved of, do you want to build up your pyramid, or do you have to take down um, the other players? So I can go like that and take his entire, or take Michaela's entire um, pyramid down. Now, after each round, your target changes, because sometimes before, somebody would get 19 or some easy number, um, and the game would be over relatively quick. So it randomizes it. And then the first person, there was an option that you have to finish exactly on 15. So if you're at 14 and you get a triple, you're actually going to lose 5 bricks. If you go over, you lose 5 bricks. If that's not set, you can hit a triple and win. So that's that game. Pretty fun. We like that one. Shanghai. I think the numbers 1 through 7 are in play. You go from 1 to 7. And then you score points, normal dart scoring. But if at any point, if anybody hits a double, single, and triple of any number, that's called a Shanghai, and they automatically won. Oh, that's wrong. Hunter is wrong. Okay, I will fix that. Strange. I wonder if I'm playing the most updated version of this. That might be the problem. Shove a penny. So you want to close out darts 1 through 9. So let's say I close out ones. If I hit a 1 again, I will give the next player that segment. So if I hit a double 1, Hunter is going to get 2. Boom. Right? So you can, and if I hit another one, Hunter's now closed out without even throwing a dart. So, and then the first person to close them all out wins. The only caveat to this is if um, the the player will win by me closing them out, they have to earn the final one on their own. And so that's that game. First person to close out 1 through 9 wins. Slider is similar to Chase the Dragon. Targets 10 through 20. So I'll get 10, 10, 10. Oh, you know what? It's not doing the... slider turn dialog. Typically, I have it come up in between turns to to close out to say, because sometimes what happens is the touchscreen can be this is played on a touchscreen. Sometimes it's unresponsive or something, so somebody will just start hitting the dart really quick, and you can take darts away from other people accidentally. So I prevent that by bringing up that in between dialog box. So here's what happens. If you don't, so she's at target 12 right now, right? This is the target she's after. If Michaela misses, she then goes back to 10. And then 11 will be her target on the next round. Right? So now it's 11. So, and then the first person to close out wins. Spy Hunter, I don't know. I made this game up, sort of. Don't know if I like it. Don't know if it makes sense. So you have 3 players. One person is the spy master, we'll say, and the other players, it's really every player against one. And now you're supposed to not look, right? And the spy master places spies. It could be triples, it could be whatever it is. You place your spies and yes, right? So now everybody is trying to find those spies before Hunter does, right? If player 1 knows where the spies are, right? But this sort of gives you a hint if they get one, and you'll kind of see where Hunter is throwing may give you a clue into what area you want to shoot for. I don't know if this game makes sense. So if we go here, right? Oh, Spy Hunter turns. And then we'll see. I don't remember what segments I picked. Okay, so there's a hit, right? So what this little thing up here says, it kind of gives you a hint that there's one number less than 5, right? And the rest are over 5. So let's say for whatever reason 15 was the highest target, which comes in here. That would tell the rest of these people, don't aim at 16, don't aim at 17, don't aim at 18. Anything above 15 is not a viable target, right? So now Hunter comes in and he goes, okay, well, I got to get my own person. So he hits that, and now he's got that, right? So right there, T18 was my highest number, which means 20 and 19 I don't even have to aim for if I'm these guys. So you're just trying to find all the targets, right? So now that was a miss. So now Michaela comes in and goes, okay, I'm going to grab these two, and then I'm going to, oh, I found another one, right? So now Jacob comes in and gets those guys, right? That's it. And then whoever, if this guy finds them first, that's a win. Or if somebody else does, they win. Sudden death, you really need 5 players because after each round, okay, hold on one second. Check, check, check. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Hit a little microphone incident. So you start off with 3 lives. The player throws first, gets 60. Oh, that's weird. Susan has one. Oh boy. Sudden death. That's very strange. Oh, I know what's happening. I got the wrong message popping up. Instead of doing the turn, wrong dialogue. So the game is still going. It's just not doing the right pop-up dialogue. So what happens is everybody throws. And the turns aren't working. Everybody throws, and then whoever has the lowest score for that round will lose a life. Oh, is out. That's right. They're out. So this is a pretty quick game. So then 18. Oh, yeah, I gotta fix this. Wow. And it looks like... Oh. Yeah, so I gotta fix that game, because normally what would happen is it would keep going until, one player is eliminated each round. So it's a pretty fast game. So, okay, that's working. And then here's baseball. So we'll say it's 5 players. Yowza. So each inning is the target. Oh, it's random targets. I forgot. This is inning 1, and 2 is the target. So if you hit, right, a single, you keep going until you get an out. You get an out by not hitting the target segment. So if I hit a triple two right now, I'm going to drive a run in. Oh, 2 runs because I had 2 men on base, right? You're going to hit a home run. Right? You can turn these sounds on and off right there, and then it just keeps going, right? So, and now inning 2, the target is 11, right? So you can load the bases and then hit a grand slam, and then get your 4 runs. And this goes until inning 9. Simple as that. Player with the most runs wins. So, got sound effects in there. So, anyway, that's that game. So I got a couple things to work on. So I'm going to show you my new and improved. So you can have custom dartboards, right? So let's say you like this dartboard and you hit use selected. When you go into a game, it is then that dartboard, right? So, everything shows up like it should, plays as it should. But you can come in here and create your own too. You can pick a color, and then if you hit here, and then we'll do a different orange. We'll set that orange, and then you can pick black for this, and then we'll do yellow for this. I don't know, whatever. There's endless, right? You can hit random, which typically makes it pretty freaking ugly, but it is completely random. And then I've added this. It's palettes for, so I put English Premier League football in here, just because darts is, very English, so I felt like I should add them, but I've added a lot of teams here. So say you're a, I don't know, Timberwolves fan. Right, so if you come in here, it adds their palette down here, and you can come in and start picking your colors and get the board to look. So if you want to do the numbers here, you click here, right? Because you can't really click here, and then the lines, right? So whatever you want to do, let's say you want that bullseye there, and you want the numbers white and these white. I think it looked better black with the white letters, and then you hit save. It is now there. So you can pick that and play with it on all the boards. It'll show up. If you don't like it, you can delete it. I think these 5 you cannot delete. They're default. But you can delete any other ones you want. So this is endless. There'll be a little scroll bar that pops in there that you could have 100 boards in here if you wanted. I guess I could make an option to have a random board show up. I'd have to think about how to do that, but that's an option. But this was something I just kind of did to see if I could do it, and I kind of like it. So, you pick the Michigan colors, and when you go back in, there you go. And then you can see the highlights still work, right? So that's basically it. I don't think there's anything else I can show you. So thanks for watching.